This was caught under a Denny's table. And last year, Denny's served over $1 billion worth of food. But behind that Grand Slam breakfast, you're getting over 1,200 calories in a single meal, reheated hash browns, and kitchens that don't always pass the cleanliness test. Let's crack the shell on the most iconic lie Denny's ever sold you. That a full breakfast, eggs, bacon, sausage, pancakes, can somehow cost $5, without costing someone a hell of a lot more. The Grand Slam sounds like a deal, but in reality, it's a $5 distraction. Seasoned with cost-cutting, deep-fried-in branding, and served on the back of a $2 paycheck. Let's break down your plate. 2 eggs? About 30 cents. Pancakes? Maybe 50. Bacon and sausage? Another $1 if we're being generous, and assuming it's actual meat, not whatever Frankenstein pork mashed their suppliers vacuum-sealed and shipped in bulk. That brings the food cost to about $2. It's cost a decade ago. Now add the human element, the cook, the waitress, the dishwasher in the back, and you might squeak up to $3 total. But Denny's isn't losing sleep over that Grand Slam. They're not making bank on it. They're making bank because of it. The $5 Grand Slam isn't a meal, it's a bait and syrup operation. You came for the deal, but stayed for the $2 coffee, $4 juice, and $8 stack of nostalgia. They upsold you while your blood sugar collapsed. And let's not forget the tip, because in this house of hash browns, you subsidize the labor. That $5.99 meal, cute. But the real price is watching your waitress work a double shift, smile through a table of loud teenagers, and still pray you leave more than $1.50. The Grand Slam is cheap because the real cost is outsourced, to underpaid staff, to franchised risk, to the late-night loner's numbing regret with scrambled eggs at 2 a.m. So next time you order breakfast for less than your favorite latte, just remember, someone's paying for your comfort, and it's probably not you. You bought the eggs, but not the story they came with. This isn't about canceling Denny's. It's about canceling the blindfold. Let's be honest. Nobody stumbles into Denny's at 2 a.m. looking for kale or quinoa. You come in hungry, half-conscious, and ready to make nutritional decisions you'll regret by sunrise. But just how bad is the damage? Let's start with the Grand Slam. That fan-favorite breakfast bomb clocks in at 1,320 calories, 86 grams of fat, and 3,320 milligrams of sodium. That's not a meal. That's a cheesy salt lick wrapped in bread. Your blood pressure didn't just go up, it filed a formal complaint. And the All-American Slam? Also over 1,160 calories, 84 grams of fat, and 2,190 milligrams of sodium. Your arteries aren't slamming. They're slamming shut. But let's say the food doesn't kill you. The kitchen might. As told by in Maricopa, a Denny's location in Pinal County, Arizona was dinged by inspectors for storing eggs and veggies at unsafe temperatures. Translation, your omelet might have taken a detour through the danger zone and not the cool Top Gun kind. Springfield, Missouri, health inspection flagged dirty floors and improper food storage. Reportedly, food was sitting out like it was waiting for a rodent buffet. Gwinnett County, Georgia, a Denny's location failed a health inspection with a C score due to issues like mold on soda machine nozzles and employees handling raw meat without changing gloves before touching ready-to-eat foods. Of course, not every Denny's is filthy, but enough are to make you rethink that refill. Corporate says every location follows strict food safety protocols. Cute. Yo thought the danger was in the kitchen. But keeping a diner open 24/7 comes at a human cost. Denny's is always open. Sounds nice, right? A beacon of hope when everything else is shut, your ex isn't texting back, and your stomach's making more noise than your conscience. But that bright neon open sign? It's powered by more than electricity. It runs on exhaustion, underpaid labor, and a revolving door of people who work while the rest of the world sleeps. Let's talk graveyard shift, where the coffee's burnt, the jukebox is silent, and your server is on her third Red Bull trying not to scream into a stack of laminated menus. Because while you're ordering pancakes at 2 a.m., someone's daughter is bussing tables for $2.13 an hour, hoping your drunk friend remembers how tipping works. Denny's promise to be open 24/7 means someone has to be there, rain or shine, holidays or heartbreak, and it's not the CEO flipping your eggs. It's the cook working 2 jobs and still behind on rent. It's the waitress with no childcare pulling a double because someone called out. It's the manager juggling food orders, and a brawl between 2 guys arguing about who gets the last seat at the counter. While some Denny's now feature robot waiters, this problem is still persistent. Not to mention those overnight hours. They're not just inconvenient, they're dangerous. Multiple Denny's locations have had to hire security. Some shut down overnight, not because of low traffic, but because of high risk. CBS even reported that one Denny's in Oakland canceled its overnight hours citing staff safety. Translation? Too many fights. Not enough pay to justify the chaos. And while you're sipping that refill coffee, the person pouring it may not even qualify for basic health insurance, especially if their hours were conveniently scheduled just under full time. And when they do complain, corporate shrugs. Because 90% of Denny's are franchises. So any bad press or labor lawsuit gets punted to individual operators. In other words, we own the brand, but not the blame. You've seen the late-night shifts, but the real play? It's viral, and you helped post it. You think you're eating breakfast, but in Denny's eyes, you're generating content. Because sometime between the $2.99 coffee and your third Instagram story, Denny's figured out the ultimate grift. Let the customers do the marketing, if for free. They didn't just join the internet, they infiltrated it. You weren't just eating pancakes. You were posting them, snapping photos of syrup drips like it was art school. You zoomed in on a pancake for the meme. It got over 100,000 retweets. And Denny's didn't pay a cent. People started loving Denny's, not for the food, but for the weirdness. Teenagers shared Denny's tweets like gospel. Grown adults retweeted them like they were edgy performance art. And suddenly, Denny's wasn't just a restaurant. It was a vibe. But here's the kicker. While you were laughing at their pancake jokes, you were also tagging them, reposting them, making them go viral. And every time you did, that's one more unpaid commercial you handed to corporate, wrapped in irony, and served on a meme tray. So next time you share that Denny's Instagram post on Mother's Day, just remember, you're not just laughing, you're working for free. We're not canceling Denny's. We're just canceling the fantasy that comfort comes cheap. Because that grand slam, it's more than breakfast. It's a warm hug served by a corporation on $2 wages, wrapped in memes, nostalgia, and a side of unpaid overtime. They didn't just sell food, they sold belonging at 3 a.m. and turned you into the ad while you laughed through the hash browns. And yeah, it worked. Because we all want to believe pancakes can fix things, but comfort costs. And someone somewhere is footing that bill. Spoiler, it's not. Corporate. So eat the pancakes. Just don't swallow the illusion. If you like this serving of truth, hit like, subscribe, and follow Empire Uncut, where billion-dollar brands get dragged out from behind the curtain, one syrup-drenched myth at a time. They made pancakes funny. They made nostalgia marketable. But what if Denny's is just the training wheels? Because the next brand wants your attention, your data, and your identity before you even wake up for breakfast. Because here at Empire Uncut, we don't cancel the brand. We just expose what's really behind the scenes. And baby, it's spicy.